r/AskReddit by Redmond ETS. What is your ex's version of your breakup? He drove me to having an affair. She's on her fourth husband now. I was the first. The go-to reasoning of cheaters. It was my significant other's fault. What else was I supposed to do? That I was lazy and took him for granted. Which is true. I was young. I had never been in a really serious long-term relationship before. I had no idea how much work a relationship takes, and because I was young I was still too self-centered to realize how much I was putting all the effort of the relationship on him. The only thing I would fault him on was that he never talked to me about any of that, but the death of that relationship was still absolutely my fault. I learned several painful lessons from that breakup, and while I'm glad I learned them because they made me a better partner in the future, I do regret that I had to learn them at his expense. He was a good guy. I hope he found someone who was a better fit for him. That I spent too much time raising our kid, and not enough time going out partying at bars with her, which forced her to cheat with a guy who wanted to be an actual family and spend time with our kid. He did not want to do any of that. Probably something like, why can't I just get everything I want without putting in any effort whatsoever? All I cared about was money. In reality, I cared that I was going broke trying to afford our apartment and everything else we had, while she sat on the couch watching TV all day, for months, without even an attempt to get a job to help. I want partnership, not a dependent. That I'm a bitch for not taking him back, after he accidentally had been hooking up with one of my friends for months. Yes, he genuinely tells people he didn't mean to hook up with her repeatedly, and it was an accident that just happened. That I was a monster for supporting Ukraine's right to defend itself. She's Russian and got sucked into Putin's propaganda. He wants me to focus on myself. The night he broke up with me was his first official day with his new girl. She was never new, you just never knew. Nice rhyme there. I was possessed by Satan. Which is accurate. I was an asshole. She was right. He didn't put any effort in at the end. Which is fine. I deliberately didn't because I was gifted with suicide threats when I tried to end the relationship. So I put in no effort until she ended the relationship. I was boring and awkward. That I left him for a guy, and this resulted in him using drugs, getting addicted, and going to jail. It's all my fault. When in reality he showed up drunk to my house, threw up in front of my front door, and then attempted to get physical when I told him he needed to go home. We were on a break. Probably that me breaking up with her was sudden and unexpected, and she thinks I'm an asshole for moving on so fast. The truth is, her family was massively homophobic and made me feel like shit for so long, and she didn't stand up for me and started to become distant to appease her family. So I mourned and accepted the loss months before we actually broke up. Kind of threw me for a loop when she distanced herself, and then acted surprised when I responded to it by thinking she didn't care anymore. So to anyone thinking family doesn't matter, don't date someone with shitty family if they aren't willing to stand up to them. Just save your time. He's an out of control alcoholic. I have no idea. My wife kicked me out the day after Christmas. When I asked why, she said, "It's time." To this day, 17 years later, I still have no idea what the reason was, but we got divorced, and 5 years later I met the most wondrous woman and have remarried, so I no longer care. Don't know. Don't care. Changed my number and moved, lol. I was a chore to be with. She would say I was afraid of commitment. I say I just didn't want to commit to her. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening.